Have you ever felt like something was missing? Like you weren't ready, not good enough, or that you needed something more before you could truly step into your greatness? Have you ever looked at someone successful and thought, if only I had what they have, more money, more connections, more talent, then I could achieve my dreams? We've all been there. We've all doubted ourselves, believing that we are incomplete, that we are lacking something essential to reach our full potential. But what if I told you that everything you need is already inside you? What if the key to success, happiness, and fulfillment has been within you all along? Think about it. When was the last time you overcame something you once thought was impossible? When was the last time you proved yourself wrong doing something you initially believed you couldn't? You've done it before, and you can do it again, because the truth is, you don't need permission. You don't need external validation. You don't need someone else to give you that green light. You are enough as you are, and you have everything inside you to create the life you want. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the belief that you are already equipped for the journey. Let me show you why the illusion of lack. We live in a world that constantly tells us we're not enough. Advertisements tell us we need to buy something to feel complete. Social media makes us compare our behind-the-scenes struggles to someone else's highlight reel. Society conditions us to believe that success and fulfillment are external, that we must go out and find them rather than realizing they are already within us. But let me ask you this: if success was purely about external factors, why are so many people with money, fame, and status still unfulfilled? Why do some of the wealthiest people in the world feel empty, while some of the happiest individuals have very little in terms of material wealth? The answer is simple. Fulfillment comes from within. The moment you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for strength, everything changes. The moment you realize that you don't need to be fixed because you were never broken, you step into a different level of confidence. The moment you stop waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right person, and start using what you already have, you unleash a power that has been dormant within you all along. The problem is not that you are lacking something. The problem is that you haven't fully tapped into the greatness that is already inside you. And the moment you recognize this truth, you become unstoppable. Too often, we let external influences dictate our self-worth. We measure our success based on arbitrary standards set by people who don't even know our struggles, our dreams, or our potential. We see others succeeding and assume they have something we don't, when in reality they simply learn to harness what was already within them. The same ability lies within you. The fear of not being enough keeps us in a cycle of self-doubt. We second-guess our talents, hesitate to take risks, and settle for less than we deserve. We convince ourselves that we need more experience, more education, or more resources before we can begin chasing our dreams. But what if we stopped waiting? What if we decided that we are already enough? Your power lies in your ability to trust yourself. Every great innovator, leader, or creator started exactly where you are, facing self-doubt, questioning their worth, and wondering if they were ready. The difference is that they chose to believe in themselves even when the world told them otherwise. They didn't wait for the perfect conditions. They moved forward despite them uncertainty, and that is exactly what you must do. Look at the world around you. Every structure, every invention, every piece of art or music, it all started in someone's mind before it became reality. The same applies to your dreams. You don't need external approval to validate your ideas. You don't need someone else's permission to pursue your passions. The only validation that matters is the one you give yourself. Imagine how your life would change if you fully embrace this truth. Imagine waking up each day knowing that you have everything you need to create the future you desire. Imagine no longer waiting for an external push, but instead drawing from the well of strength and wisdom already inside you. That's not a fantasy. It's a choice, one that you can make right now. Society thrives on making you believe you are inadequate because it profits from your insecurities. The moment you accept your worth, you become immune to those manipulations. You start making decisions that align with your true desires rather than ones based on fear or societal pressure. You stop looking for external solutions to internal challenges because you realize you were never truly lacking. Every challenge you have faced has prepared you for this moment. Every failure, every heartbreak, every step into a life of limitless possibilities. The question is, will you take that step? Your inner strength, the power you already possess. Think back to a time in your life when you faced a challenge, one that seemed impossible to overcome. Maybe it was heartbreak. Maybe it was financial hardship. Maybe it was failure. Maybe it was self-doubt. But you survived, you endured, and even though it felt impossible at the time, here you are today, stronger than before. That strength didn't come from outside of you. It came from within you. Didn't find it in a book, in a mentor, or in someone else's words. You found it in yourself. And if you could do it once, you can do it again. The same strength that got you through your worst days is still inside you right now. The same resilience that carried you through pain, through rejection, through uncertainty, it hasn't left you. You may have forgotten how powerful you are, but your power hasn't forgotten you. The truth is the human spirit is more powerful than we often realize. It has endured centuries of adversity, fought through wars, built civilizations, and created miracles. And that same spirit, that same unstoppable force exists within you. The only question is, will you embrace it? The shift in mindset. You already have what it takes when you stop chasing and start realizing your entire life shifts. When you stop looking at success as something outside of you and start recognizing it as something within you, you move differently. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop doubting yourself and start believing in the abilities you've always had, because here's the truth. Confidence is not something you find, it's something you build. Strength is not something you receive. It's something you uncover. Wisdom is not something granted to you, it's something developed through experience. Everything you need is already inside you. The talent, the perseverance, the intelligence, the creativity, it's all there, but it's up to you to bring it out. It's up to you to silence the doubt, push through the fear, and trust yourself enough to take action, because nobody is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dream life. No one is going to do the work for you, but the good news is you don't need them to. You already have what it takes. The challenge, however, is in overcoming the mental barriers that tell you otherwise. Fear, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs can act as walls, trapping you in a cycle of hesitation. But the reality is these barriers are illusions. They only have power if you give it to them. The moment you decide to take back control, you become unstoppable. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking action despite the fear. It's about making a choice every single day to step into your power. It's about owning your strengths and refusing to be held back by your weaknesses. Because even in your most uncertain moments, you are still capable. Even when you don't feel ready, you are still powerful. You already have what it takes. Now it's time to prove it to yourself. Your greatest weapon, belief in yourself. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the most talented, the most educated, or the most privileged. They are simply the ones who believed in themselves when no one else did. They are the ones who bet on their own potential, who refused to let doubt win, who tapped into the power they already possessed. They didn't wait for someone to tell them they were capable. They didn't ask for permission to chase their dreams. They didn't wait until they had everything figured out. They simply started trusting that they would learn along the way, and because they believed in themselves, the world eventually believed in them too. So what if you did the same? What if starting today you stopped underestimating yourself? What if you decided that you are already enough, that you already have the courage, the intelligence, the resilience, and the creativity to achieve what you desire? Because the moment you start believing in yourself, everything changes. Doors open, opportunities appear. You attract the right people, the right resources, and the right circumstances, not because they suddenly appeared, but because your mindset allowed you to see what was already there. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop searching and start realizing? Are you ready to step into the power that has always been inside you? The challenge to you now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a moment where you realized your own strength, a time when you thought you couldn't do something, but then proved yourself wrong? What did that experience teach you about yourself? Share your story, because someone out there needs to hear it. Someone out there is doubting themselves the same way you once did. And your words might be the reminder they need, that everything they need is already inside them, just as it has always been inside you. So what's your story? More importantly, what's your next move?